All right, welcome in, everybody. I'm Bobby Burton, joined by Rod Babers on my left, Jerry Hamilton on my right. This is On Texas Football Special Edition, live from the Hole in the Wall, right off the drag, and Dean Keaton, sponsored by our friends at Hargrove Roofing. Whoa. Know who's on your roof. HargroveRoofing.com. Make sure y'all check it out. Bert Auburn is here with us tonight, hanging out a little bit. We appreciate him and having a little fun right now. Guys, biggest game of the year thus far, we think. Although last week was the biggest game, and then Michigan was the biggest
when
week.
You're undefeated, every game is the biggest game.
Yeah,
the next game is the biggest
that's
game.
the way it works, right? But it's supposed to be a beautiful day on Saturday. Temperatures in the 80s and dropping into the 70s. Supposed to be clear skies. Everything about this game is lining up. College game days here. It's as big as it gets in Austin, Texas for a long period of time. We'll have a number of guests here. Stevie Lee's going to join, pop by, Rod, your former teammate, as well as Bert Auburn's going to hang out with us for a little bit. Billy Hargrove, owner of Hargrove Roofing, going to come on and show what he knows about the Longhorns. He is a true Longhorn fan. He's not a faker at all. If that made sense right there, Stevie just rolling in right there now as well. All right, hey, Jerry, a little bit of breaking news, because one of the things we are covering today is recruiting. Like, we're waiting on the injury report to come out. That comes out around 7 tonight. But for you, Jerry, you've been covering recruiting for a long period of time, as have I. And right now, it is as big a weekend ahead for the Longhorns as we can recall. Tell us the very latest. Some guys added, some guys taken off, etc.
Well, all the stars are going to be out Saturday night. That includes Jermichael Finley with his son, Caden Finley, the 2026 receiver at Toledo. He'll be in town. Kevin Wynn, though, one of the top targets in 2025, D lineman from Greene County. He is not coming in because his father couldn't make the visit with him. And that Texas really wants him and his both parents to make the visit to Texas this time, because in June, it was only Kevin and his mom. And his father did not make that official visit. So Texas wants to get a visit when both parents can be on campus. That was not this weekend. So we'll see if that does transpire. Kevin Wynn was at USC last weekend. His father did not make that trip. USC made a big impression on him, the Florida State commitment. It's FSU, it's USC, it's Texas, and maybe Georgia in the mix there. But there's 115 prospects right now scheduled to be in. 115, right? Give or take, right? There's a couple of guys committed elsewhere that are very possibly going to come in that aren't even on the list on ontexasfootball.com. We're going to kind of monitor that through tomorrow. But it's a massive weekend on a recruiting front. 50-plus combined 5 stars and 4 stars in the 25, 26, and 27 classes. Look, I said this, and I know some of the Texas fans don't like it, but as big as the Texas-OU game was for the fans, this is bigger for the recruits, Rod. Because they all have Georgia on their list, at the top of their list, starting the recruiting process. And now, number 1, Texas is hosting number 5, Georgia. This is, for the recruiting purposes, this is bigger than Texas OU for the kids.
You know, Rod, you've been a recruit at games. You've been a guy that hosted recruits.
Yeah.
You signed some good ones, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to say that Rod was a pretty good recruiter, if I recall. You know, what is a game like this setting up? If you're a young impressionable high school kid, is it what people like Jerry and I kind of think of it as? Is like, hey, man, I'm getting recruited by the best of the best. There's 2 teams right now. It's getting ready to be a little bit of a heavyweight battle, and I'm going to be going on from Flower Mound Marcus or Katy High or John, whatever. That's got to be a pretty good feeling as a high school recruit to know that you're wanted by the best of the best.
Exactly. This is a game for big game hunting, right?
Yep.
The best recruits from around the country. Even if Texas doesn't necessarily have an in with them, they want to go to this game. And this game is a statement game for both Georgia and for Texas. And it'll be a statement game for Texas if they can win it. You know, when I was narrowing down my choices to 5 schools, Texas A&M, Colorado, Florida State kind of reminds me of what Georgia is now back then.
Yes, they were top 4.
There you go. They were the powers. Like, no, I got to have a program in my top 5 that is a blue blood, but also somebody who's at the top of the college football mountain right now. That's what Georgia is right now, and Texas is ascending. And back then, I guess Texas was on their way ascending at the time too. And I think that's what this is all about. Can Texas knock off Georgia? And then when you go to Atlanta and talk to those recruits in that Atlanta metro area, you can say, hey, we are officially a better football program than Georgia at this time. We're ascending, and that's be a hell of a sales pitch.
Look, we've all been through this. We got different ages, et cetera, here. I'm trying to go back to a time when there was a game as big as this, and we've talked about it all week. Texas played Ohio State early in 2006. Yep. That was a 1 versus 2. You played Nebraska when they were really good, and y'all, Eric Crouch, I think it's Eric Crouch came to town. Y'all beat him on a fumble inside the 10.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's been as big a home game in mid-season. I came to school here in 1988, and I don't know that there's been a mid-season home game as big as this in that 35 plus years.
U of H in 90, maybe it's not, but it's not the same.
If that place was rocking. The negative or the thought about that was Texas had lost one game and tied another already that year.
So, and U of H is not a blue blood. They're not really in that.
They
category.
weren't.
They were new money, not blue blood.
Well, first year in the SEC too. The fact that Texas is ranked number 1 in the country, first year in the SEC, and they won at Bama last year and Nick's last year by double digits, and now Kirby is coming to town, having only lost 1 regular season game in 3 years, and won 2 of the last 3 national championships, and are going to be playing for their SEC championship live Saturday. This is a massive game, and just the changes on Bevo Boulevard with what CDC's done, presenting the Texas football program. This is going to be an epic show that all the national people that cover college football that'll be here will leave, whether Texas wins or lose the game, guys, they're going to leave saying Texas is an unbelievable place. They know they belong in the SEC. They belong in the upper echelon of college football. They have put on a true show for college football Saturday, because that's what's going to happen. Then you just need both teams to play really well.
You're now an elite program again, but can you be the it program again?
Yes.
The cool program, right? That's what happened when Ricky won the Heisman. The cool factor in recruiting. I think Texas can be the it program in college football again, in addition to being the best football program. That's the goal.
We're going to bring in Billy Hargrove, owner of Hargrove Roofing, here in just a minute. He's going to take Jerry's place. He's going to prove that he knows a little Longhorn football, Rocky.
He's got some hot takes.
I know.
He's got a couple of hot takes. He gave them
he's
to
a
us.
long-term Longhorn football fan. Billy, thank you for joining us, my man. You doing okay?
Yeah.
You doing good? Thank you for having us here at the
coming
Hole
on,
in the
brother.
Wall. On
No, we're excited.
Thursday
I'm
night.
excited to be here.
What do you think about this game coming up, man?
I think it's going to be awesome. I think Texas is going to show out, and it's going to be amazing atmosphere. And I think it's going to be riskier when they play other people outside of Georgia. You know, I think Kentucky, Vanderbilt, they're going to let their guard down. They'll be more tired. I think that Georgia, they're going to be so hyped up. Ewers is very cool under pressure. So I think that he's not going to be fazed.
By Georgia.
Right. Now, he could get sloppy. He could get sloppy in the other games.
Yeah,
He's been good in big games. Oklahoma was on their first big game where he started. Both of the Oklahoma games, he started slow in those Oklahoma games. Something about Oklahoma and him starting slow is weird.
I think that is as big a pressure cooker as you get mentally if you grew up loving Texas.
True.
Yeah.
Which he did.
And he's coming back from injury. He's not going to be as tight with all his reads and his feet work, but neither would I.
Yep. So I got to ask you. So Bert Auburn is out here in the crowd as well. Stevie Lee, former Longhorn, works with you guys at Hargrove, so it kind of runs deep with you guys. What are you guys doing here in Austin? Tell people about what you're doing around the state of Texas as well.
Yeah, so we have 9 branches all over Louisiana and Texas. When we came to Austin, I immediately knew I wanted to partner with Texas. I grew up a brainwashed Texas fan. I would watch Rod when I was in high school. I would read Bobby Burton when I was in 6th grade, when you would do AOL sign on and it made all that noise. So yeah, I mean, when we came here, I knew let's partner with Longhorns, and then Longhorn Network obviously went away, and then Bobby emailed me at a perfect time, and he's like, "Do you want to partner?" And I was like having a fanboy moment. The head of marketing was like, "Who's Bobby Burton?" I was like, Bobby. I I used to read Bobby Burton on that computer with AOL, man. Like, so we immediately tied in with Bobby, and then Rod, I didn't know you were with Bobby. I lost track of Bobby after 247. I still read 247. So when I saw that Jerry, Rod, y'all, I was like, I'm in. It's awesome.
And now Stevie's helped us
Thank you,
a lot as well.
Appreciate
we're
it.
having
we
a lot of good
immediately
time.
got Stevie because Stevie's from Shreveport.
Yep.
So the company started in Shreveport.
Okay, that's the Louisiana connection. I was going to
Yeah.
ask you about the Louisiana
Yeah.
connection. Okay,
So we got with Stevie. We made a funny commercial. Then we got with Bert. Went right when the NIL started. I'm sorry, and made another funny commercial with Bert and Stevie. So it's
what led you to go into Bert? It had to be the hair, right? It had. Come on now, it had to be
so
the hair.
I always wanted to get these wigs made and try to put them all throughout the stadium with a Hargrove roofing hat stapled to it.
What happened? That's brilliant.
I don't know. I think I got busy roofing and I forgot about it.
Yes, I love it. He is kind of a cult figure too.
No, he
people
is.
love it.
I just wish Sark's got to let him kick more than 4 field goals this year.
The red zone offense is doing great. When the red zone offense was bad, Bert Auburn was he was the hero out there. Now, it's not enough opportunity for Bert.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what. Look at this. Let's take a couple questions with you here.
Hey,
What do you think? Let's bring in the fans here. Tom Bregman, what are the odds of Steve Sarkisian winning the SEC in his first year? That would be an outstanding accomplishment, not only for Sark, but for the entire program. I think we all agree that would be an outstanding accomplishment. Winning the SEC, I mean, Rod, when they announced the SEC three and a half years ago now, were you thinking that they would win the SEC in the first year?
I remember my first thought being, I don't know if we're ready for the SEC.
Well, I was just like, thank God it's not 2015.
Should not Charlie's not in there. Charlie might not be ready for that.
Yeah, but I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, the Texas program in the last 3 years has done this 180 essentially, from 5-7 to 8-5 to 12-2 last year, to now sitting 6-0 and number one in the country. It's kind of, you've built a business. We've done media for a long period of time. It's one of those things where you kind of get a feeling that things are just moving in the right direction. Just kind of keep piling that on and keep stacking wins.
Yeah, the culture's changed. That's the biggest thing I've seen.
Yep.
It's like when that viral video that went
crazy his first year. Yeah. And like, that's what he had to deal with. And now I think that's non-existent. So that's a huge deal. Yeah. So
can I ask you a question? What player this season has surprised you the most?
Oh, I love Weisner. Yeah. I was telling my cousin when I was watching the Oklahoma game, I was like, man, I love Blue. I said, but Weisner's got this thing where he gets north and south. So he's slick. And so I love Weisner. He's great. And he was like the 4th string running back going into the season. Yeah. So, yeah. And I love Alfred Blue. Just if you're watching, Alfred, I love you too.
I think you look at this game and what's going on at Texas. I do think they can win the SEC. They are the favorites to win the SEC. They are the favorites in all of college football to make the college football playoffs. But I'm telling you now, I picked Texas to win this game. I want to be clear, but we did a reshoot of what we thought would happen in a prediction, and I did have Texas losing a game this season in the regular season. And it's kind of what you talked about, like the SEC's so hard, you're gonna slip up. So, there's gonna be a hard game, and the game that I picked was Arkansas. Actually,
that's a huge trap game. We played terrible in Arkansas.
Yes.
I don't know why we always do. Even when we had Vince, I feel like we were fortunate.
So yeah, I think it's also like the New England Patriots that when they went 16-0, like you almost don't want to go undefeated in the season because you need to learn a lesson. And so if they go through undefeated and win the SEC championship, I'm gonna probably be more nervous in the playoffs because I think they need to learn. They need to get a taste of reality from somebody. I hope not, but I mean,
they need adversity.
Yeah,
like you need to lose sometime in busy.
And I think they got that from Oklahoma. Their quarterback came back, their star quarterback, and he got through the game, and he ended up doing great in the end. And I thought that was great. That's a big deal.
Well, I tell you what, Billy, thank you for joining us. We want to say thank you for having us here at the Hole in the Wall. Thank you for supporting On Texas Football and Bert Auburn. with NIL as well as Stevie Lee and everything that we're doing, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you,
Right.
brother.
You're the
Take
man,
care of
brother.
yourself, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Hey.
Yeah.
There we go. Good stuff, Billy. We appreciate it. We'll get Jerry in here, and then Bert Auburn come up here in a little bit as well.
Man.
Yeah, he's good. I told you.
Takes, yeah.
He's not. There's no fake.
Yeah, he's
There's
a real
no fake.
fan right there.
That is, and I'm going to do an ad read for him. How about that?
Hey, I
right
love
now.
it. I love it.
Thank you very much to our friends over at Hardgrove Roofing with offices all over Louisiana, Arkansas, and of course Texas, including Austin. Hardgrove Roofing will take care of all of your roofing needs. Plus, they're Longhorn friendly with partners like kicker Bert Auburn and former defensive tackle Stevie Lee. They are the most pro burnt orange roofing company out there. Call them today for a free roof inspection. Hardgrove Roofing, know who's on your roof. 512-645-3202. All right, guys, now we're into the second segment of the show, and we have yet to bring up maybe one of the more important things for this game on Saturday. I just joined. Will ask, is Isaiah Bond playing? Now, the injury report's set to come out around 6:37. CJ Vogel's here, and you know he's bird dogging that injury report as we speak right now.
This better not be Will Muschamp. Hey, Boom. Coach Boom, if that's you, we're not telling you anything.
Hey, but in all seriousness, he was listed as questionable yesterday, right? Sark has said that he's been practicing. There were people that were listed as questionable last week that eventually got taken off the injury list.
Yeah.
We don't. This injury list thing hasn't been around long enough for us to really know Sark's MO.
Patterns of it.
Yeah, we don't know what Sark's really doing yet. But if he goes from questionable to probable today on this, it's probably really good news for the Longhorns. He's one of those guys, though, that look, you need all your weapons when you go up against a team like Georgia. Georgia needs all its weapons against Texas.
Yep.
The same way, right? What do y'all think about the Texas receiver group? If Bond can play, and if he can't, what they're going to have to do?
He does add an element of elite world-class speed that none of the other receivers have. They are fast, but he's a different. I mean, I still don't think any receiver at the college or the pro level has run faster, like on the field time than he did with 22 miles per hour.
UTSA, yeah.
So I think Wingo is the next explosive receiver in terms of the explosive dynamic they bring to the passing game. But there's no doubt you don't replace world-class speed like that. And it's clear Sark likes to kind of run the passing game through him early. He's a catalyst for the passing game for them early. And help, I was Kirby Smart, and there was a healthy Isaiah Bond there. I probably would game early on to take him out of things because Sark likes to get him the ball early and often.
Rod, the key too is how close to 100% is he? 4-3 Bond scares people. 4-5 Bond, not so much. So we're going to know probably really early in this game Saturday, assuming Friday goes well, walkthrough goes well, pregame goes well, right? What type of Bond are we going to see? Because the 4-3 Bond scares everybody. The 4-5 Bond, big difference.
I can defend. Not now.
Not now.
Not now. But in my prime,
Don't
I can
lie.
defend 4-5 Bond. I know I can do that. Yeah.
I love it. Who else is going to stand out for the Longhorns? We got a couple questions here that one guy asked Bobby, who are your thoughts on who the standout player that is not necessarily that guy? Like, who is this? Frederick Gonzalez asked, who is your dark horse key contributor versus UGA? I mean, look, Trey Weisner's not a dark horse anymore.
Not anymore. No.
And so Gunnar Helm's not a dark horse anymore. He's been a horse.
A workhorse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's been a guy. Perfect, Everett. Thank you. Who is y'all's pick for a dark horse contributor? I'll think of one on my end.
That's a good one. On defense, is LaFau a dark horse again? He started versus Oklahoma. I don't know if I can call him a dark horse. He did start.
To Rod's point,
versus Oklahoma.
he could arrive on the national scene with a big game.
Yes, good point.
Definitely could announce himself.
Because his presence, even Sark admitted this, his presence allows you to weaponize Anthony Hill.
Yeah.
To move him around the formation. And I love when they do that because you got to organically try to put pressure on Beck because you don't want to have to blitz him because he's great against the blitz. So maybe somebody in the secondary because Derek Williams is down. So maybe it's a unsung hero. There's a Jelani McDonald that steps up. Maybe somebody like that.
That wouldn't hurt my opinion.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to.
You need him. Yeah.
You know who I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with Ethan Burke.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because, look, there are people in this here saying, look, Georgia's allowed fewer sacks than Texas so far this year.
Yeah, 6.
The point being, if Texas is going to win this game, the Texas pass rush has to be legit.
Agree.
And while we already know, Colin Simmons is not a dark horse anymore.
No.
Barron Sorrell's not a dark horse. Trey Moore even not a dark horse. He's a starter. So who else in that pass rush group can be that guy? Anthony Hill's not a dark horse.
No.
So someone like Ethan Burke, who, by the way, had a really good game somewhat quietly against OU in a limited number of snaps, might be that guy for me.
I
like that.
You know who Coach Shipley took this morning on Coffee and Football? Matthew Golden.
Oh, nice.
That's true. Yeah, because he hadn't had that 100. He hadn't had that big receiving yardage game yet. He's just
Good game against Michigan.
Good game against Michigan.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, but not necessarily that over the top game that we've talked about. All right, Bert Auburn is going to join us here in a few minutes. We'll talk with him. Jerry's got we got to show y'all what Jerry's got in mind for him.
Football.
I'll let you do
I love it.
The paper football.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
Look, we know Bert can kick the leather football, but can he kick the paper football? Because he didn't graduate from high school in the 90s like we did. The 80s, Bobby.
That was like elementary school.
They don't play paper football. They don't play paper football in 5th grade science class or anymore. So we're going to see what Bert's got.
Oh, that is great. I wasted a lot of time in high school playing paper football with me and Jerome Sapp. We'd get after it all the time.
Jerome had Notre Dame on his. Rod had FSU on the other side. They were kicking at each other.
Because of Dion, weren't you?
Yes, sir. Number 2. I wanted number 2 because he was 2 in college, but
then he became 21.
Then Tim Brewster hustled me and said, "You want to be 21 because that's what he is in the pros." And I was like, "No, I didn't."
Just so Sims can be 2, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. I get it, dude. I get it. All right. We got a couple more minutes here. We're going to be with you guys till the top of the hour. We appreciate y'all joining us here on the live stream. This is On Texas Football. Matthew Kelson has a question for us. How big do you guys think the Derek Williams injury is going to be for our defense?
That's good. He was one of your, if not your best, alley cat, right? Did a great job running the alley, being a force run defender that way. And honestly, I before Makuba came, he was your best coverage safety too. I think Makuba now may be just as good in coverage. There's no doubt you're going to miss Derek Williams. One of your top safeties versus the run, one of your top safeties in pass coverage. I think they'll try to target the safeties who are in there potentially once he's out. Like him being out and Taft and Makuba, Jelani McDonald, they may try to go at him in this Georgia game.
I think they have to. I think that they're going to have to see if they can run on Texas.
Yep.
And Williams is your best run defender. I mean, Taft is a good look. Taft and Makuba are good tacklers. We're not talking about that, but ultra physical they are not. I mean, Makuba is smaller than I thought he would be coming in.
Agreed.
Like I thought he's a little bit bigger guy. Then you see him in fall or spring camp or fall camp.
He's like a small corner.
He's a smaller guy.
Yeah.
So that pound the rock mentality from Georgia, you put Derek Williams out there, it's a different. I mean, we saw it against OU. He caused a fumble and came downhill. Played really well, I thought, against the Sooners. So I think it is a big loss. We'll see, particularly as we get into the other stuff. We got Bert Auburn coming up here in a few minutes. I'm waiting to see him. I'm trying to see if he's in the background. Bert.
Oh, he's over there. I can see him.
Come on, buddy.
Big time. He's big time.
He's coming now. He's over there signing autographs and stuff.
Yeah, man.
All right.
He's a star.
All right, Jerry, I'm going to get out of this and Bert, you hang out with Bert here.
All right.
Bert, here's your football, buddy. Here we go. Sit down where
How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, Bert? How you doing?
Oh, I got to see myself.
Yeah, man. The man in the middle, the big piece of chicken chair. You deserve it.
Yes,
Lifetime Longhorn, Bert Auburn joining us right now on Texas Football. Bert, first of all, I know how the season's going. It's going great. How's it going for you particularly? Very different tone of the season for you. Last year, you got a lot of work, ton of workload. This year, not so much. You're still doing great. What are your thoughts about how different the season is for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's going different for me in a good way.
Yeah.
We're scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
So can't complain.
No.
I mean, either way, we're still ending drives with the kick, so can't complain.
Nice. Yeah.
When you came out of Fly Around High and you decided to come to Texas, did you foresee the team you're on now, playing at Alabama, kicking at Michigan, just where this has taken you coming out of Flower Mound High? Living the dream in a way.
Definitely living the dream. But I mean, I think everybody says that that's why you come to Texas, is to play in all these big games. Like, these are the games you look forward to when you decide to come here. So just got to keep looking forward to them. And
Coach Sarkisian always talks about the culture change at Texas. You've lived it. What goes into it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a long process. I've been here since, Sark and the whole staff's first year, going 5-7, and you can tell there's drastic changes in the culture, and just the things he's done, getting everybody closer together, people taking accountability, literally every step in the right direction. And it's been awesome to see.
Hey, Bert, let me ask you this, because you guys had some big games. I'm a little jealous of you guys, because you guys getting all these big matchups, going to Alabama, going to Michigan on these big stages. Before those games, does Sark give a pregame speech? Is he a pregame speech guy?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely gets the team going.
Okay,
sure.
all right, yeah,
sure. Yeah. Right before we run out the tunnel, he's got something to get everybody fired up. So
nice.
Always looking forward to that.
Is there a player that also gets the team hype before some of these games? Or is it always Sark that gives that final word?
Sark's always the final person. Who I really missed last year's is Jet Bush in the locker. He was always
really?
fired up.
Okay, that's nice to know. I didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah, he was always fired up. But no, Sark's always the final guy.
I like that.
Right before we take the field.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool.
So you're different as a kicker. You're like the pitcher with a no-hitter. Nobody wants to talk to you, right? Everybody else gets high-fived. They're jumped on. It's all hype before a kick. But you're out there on your island. How different is that compared to what you see with the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, I'm out with Lance and my snapper and holder Michael Kern. So I think us three being really close together is super important, because obviously every position group's super close with everybody, but for us kind of being on our own, and that's where everything starts. I think it's just having trust in Lance, having trust in Kern. I think that's what ultimately makes us successful.
One of my favorite coaches on the staff is Coach Banks. You get to spend a lot of time with Coach Banks. He laughing just talking about it. He just starts laughing. Okay, give me a good coachism from Coach Banks. All the coaches got little sayings they drop all the time. Give me a coachism from Coach Banks that you can hear in your head right now.
I hate to do it, but I think I'm going to stay away. I don't think it'd be appropriate to say.
Okay,
yeah.
That's a good. I get it.
That's good enough.
That is good enough. We don't want to get Coach Banks in trouble. I like that.
All right, Bert, so here's the question. You kicked a leather ball. Can you kick a paper football? Dude, did they still paper football? I mean, have you ever kicked a paper football?
It's been a while, back in middle school for sure.
Can you do it?
We got a crowd. You got to kick the paper football.
Wow. All right.
Where are we going?
You got to give him
You're going straight over the camera.
Wow.
Okay.
Here we go.
So
I'm gonna give him some elbow room here. We got it. We got it.
We'll head it towards.
Hey, here we go. Here we go. I'll tell you if it's good or not. Here we go.
There we go.
Oh no! Oh. That was like Matthew Golden. That was like Matthew Golden's throw the first time.
I gotta get closer.
Let's go. Ah! Nice. That was clutch, bro. That was clutch.
He's a lefty too. I didn't know it. Lefty.
Nice. Hey, Bert, man, we appreciate the time, and thanks for coming out, my man. Yeah, and good luck, brother, with the rest of the year. Stay healthy, keep it up, brother. That is lifetime Longhorn Bert Auburn joining us, and he came in clutch with the paper football field goal. Beautiful. Oh, I think we're bringing on lifetime Longhorn Stevie Lee as well. Hey, thank you to our good friends at Hardgrove Roofing, because courtesy of Hardgrove Roofing, that's how we can have our very special guests here, lifetime Longhorn Bert Auburn, and now my man, former teammate, my man. Stevie Lee, lifetime Longhorn.
We on camera too?
You on camera, man?
Shit, I look good.
Yeah, you look good.
How you doing, man?
Hey, Stevie Lee's still in good shape, man.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not, man.
Why you still looking swole?
Well,
I'm up here with two guys that have one play left. One play left each. half a play.
Yeah. So as soon as they say hike, my knee's gone.
True, I feel the same way. You younger than me too.
No question. Yeah.
Steve, there's more Shreveport in here than Texas people in here, man. Hey!
Yeah, real close to Shreveport. She do all of her grocery shopping there. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no
claim
question.
Shreveport too. We're gonna claim it too.
Kashada,
baby.
Louisiana,
Hey,
right
no
there.
doubt, baby. Swamp people. All right.
Hey, well, I got one thing, man. So
Go ahead.
we're at the hole in the wall, right?
Yep.
Right across the street is Ken Solving. Right?
Oh, that's true.
Right across the street.
Yes.
Ken Solving is where I met my wife from Rob Babers.
Hey,
Rob Babers introduced me to my wife right across the street over here, man. So whenever we drive down here with the kids and hanging out with the kids, like that elevator over there is where I met your mother. And Rob Babers is the one that introduced us, man.
Yeah, man.
So
I don't know why they had us in a women's dormitory for the
all-girls dorm.
All-girls dorm during the summer, but I loved it. I enjoyed it. And,
I did too.
Exactly. No. But your beautiful wife asked me if I knew any good guys. And I literally remember that moment. I was like, honestly, you want me to be honest with you? I do know one. And Stevie Lee. It was just one. I knew one.
I got a high school teammate or classmate here. Was I a good guy in high school? See? There you go.
Oh,
what's up, math class?
I was gonna say, there you go. Wait, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
She gave me all the answers.
See? Told y'all Stevie Lee was a good guy. There you go.
Yeah, class. What's class, Coach Ab?
All right, so we got.
I'm sorry, man.
I gotta get one question in about the game. This is a trench game, right up your alley. What are your keys for Texas in this Georgia game?
Oh man, right. So it's still football. Is still football, man. So the line of scrimmage, man. I mean, it's hand-to-hand combat at the line of scrimmage, right? So we gotta win the line of scrimmage, right? Pressure on the quarterback, but our O-line, they're going to throw everything at them, right? And they got to be ready for that. The other thing, my other keys to the game is they're going to make a play. We're going to make some plays.
Mm-hmm.
Stay level-headed.
Yep.
Put your hand back in the ground and go for the next play. So it's going to be a hard-fought game. I feel like our guys are ready. Talking to Bert out here, you know, I'm asking him all these different questions and all that stuff. Like, he'll know I'm trying to get in his head. Like, no, but the kid's ready. Yeah, the kids are ready, man. So I'm really looking forward to it. I thought I woke up this morning. I thought it was Friday. I was like, I can't wait for the game tomorrow. My wife's like, you got one more day.
Got one more day, man. You
got one more day. So yeah, man. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. But the trenches where we're gonna win this game.
Let me ask you about the Texas defensive line. They played really well. What do you're an interior D lineman, so you look at it, you got a different view of it than we do from the outside looking in. How well has that interior D line played so far? Guys like Vernon Broughton, I'm here now, making themselves some money in the NFL potentially.
Yeah, no question. Vernon is and what's the other one?
Alpha Collins.
Alpha Collins. They're good. They can go make plays themselves, but they can also hold up the line. Yeah. Right? They can take on double teams. Yep. Where our linebackers are running crazy, man, and they're doing really well. Hill is going everywhere across the field because our linemen are holding it down. That's true. Like nobody can get to the second level and get to the linebackers. So I like the way they play. I love the way our two interior linemen played last year, but the front four, I think it's just a better front four.
Overall.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no disrespect to the last team last year, but just overall, the front four right now is taking on more so our linebackers can run free. Kind of like what I did for Derrick Johnson. So, and now, he got a 14-year career in the league. You know what I'm saying?
He like 3 or 4 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He had some player there.
He ran free everywhere.
Hey, by the way, a lot of history. Texas Longhorns at Shreveport Evangel High. Okay? Peyton Houston threw for 817 yards in a game last week. Rod Babers, sophomore quarterback at Evangel, threw for 817 yards and rushed for about 100. Man, I went and saw Stevie, Phil, all those guys in high school, that 9-yard shotgun, the infamous offense, man. Just kind of talk about that. Kind of talk about Mac Brown. He recruited Evangel High and how you ended up at Texas for the people that haven't heard the story.
So our teammate, Pittman, we went to high school together. And, he was a year ahead of me, so he was in your class.
Yep. Cole Peters was my class, 99.
Yeah, he was in your class, 1999 class, and so his dad would come down here for spring practices, for games, and he would just throw me and Philip in the car and come down here with him. And I was always impressed with the city. Oh, we got a new guy over there.
Yeah, my CJ did. Double take. Double take.
Yeah. And so we would come down here all the time. And I was so impressed with Coach Brown, his staff, the older players that were here.
Yep.
And then the city. I love that the university is right here. And then right across MLK was downtown and 6th Street. And so I just love the atmosphere here, and that's what got me here, and Philip here as well. And then we had a couple of other guys come through from Evangel and from Shreveport. So it was kind of a little pipeline that we started, and hopefully we keep it going, man, because there's some good talent in North Louisiana right now.
Great talent.
Rod tells us a story all the time of what Coach Brown said to get him locked in. Did he hit you with the, hey, we're going to need you? We're going to win a national championship line, or did he have a kind of a different?
No, he had a different thing for me.
See,
so man, his mouthpiece, bro. He'll talk you off a bridge. Yeah, and think you're gonna live. And so, but he was great with that. But what he told me was different from I was one of those players that can go anywhere I wanted to, right? And all those coaches would tell you, they will sell you wolf tickets. And they were like, "Oh man, you're big enough, you're strong enough, you're gonna start the first day on campus, you're gonna start." And I always knew that was bull, right? Because you don't just give a kid out of high school a starting position, right? Coach Brown said, if you compete and work, you'll play. And I knew it was Sean Rogers and Casey Hampton in front of me. I knew I wasn't gonna take their position, but he said if you compete and practice, you'll play. And that's I just wanted somebody genuine and real with me. He's like, no, you're not gonna start. No. He didn't say that, but I knew that. I was not going to come here and start. I knew I needed to work, and I was okay with redshirting. But he said, we do need you, and if you compete in practice, you will play. And that's all I needed.
And he told you the truth.
He told me the truth.
And I always say, Mac, that's one thing I'll say about Mac. He told my mom that I would graduate when he was on my mama's couch drinking her sweet tea. He said, no, he'll graduate. I came back from the league. First thing Mac said when I walked into him was, hey, did you enroll in class yet? Yep. Did it before he was like, at first he was like, are you done with the NFL? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you should go run in class. Yep. He walked me down to Gene Bryant's office and got enrolled. He was like, I told your mama you graduate. Son. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, man of his word. Yep. Stevie, appreciate you, brother, as always.
No question, man. This is fun,
dude.
Man.
Thank you.
You are the man.
We love you being part of On Texas Football. I know the folks at Hargrove love being part with you and everything. We really appreciate you, dude.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Hook them this weekend.
Tell your beautiful wife I said hi. Of course.
I will.
All right, we got to close out here. We're almost done for tonight. This has been a great event here at Hole in the Wall, Hargrove Roofing. We've had Bert Auburn as well as Billy Hargrove came in. Talk to us a little bit. I want to do one last read for our friends over at Hargrove Roofing. Thank you very much for our friends over at Hargrove, with offices all over Louisiana and Arkansas, and of course Texas, including Austin. Hargrove Roofing will take care of all of your roofing needs. Plus, they're Longhorn friendly, with partners like our kicker Bert Auburn and former defensive tackle Stevie Lee. They are the most pro burnt orange roofing company out there. Call them today for a free roof inspection. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof. 512-645-3202. We appreciate you guys all out there. Hope you guys had a good time tonight with us. And thank you for joining the show. For Rod Babers and Jerry Hamilton, who's out there talking to Bert Auburn about his poor football technique over there. Jerry's, I don't know if you know this, but Jerry's like all into punters. He's like,
he's got
to punt. Jerry used to punt.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Who knew?
And so he's probably over there talking with Bert about, styles.
About long ball Dixon or something?
Yeah, unbelievable. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you also to our producer, Matt Hutchison.
Thanks, Matt.
Behind there. So thank you all to all. And everybody have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow morning with Coffee and Football, 8 a.m. Hook 'em.